Good morning everyone, I am OMAR KASAN, a BPED student, and today I will be reporting the rules in playing softball. Rule number 1 is the definition. Section 1, altered bat. A bat is altered when the physical structure of a legal bat has been changed. For example, of altering a bat are, first, replacing the handle of a metal bat with a wooden or typed handle. Second is inserting material inside the bat. And another is applying excessive tape, more than 2 layers, to the bat grip, or painting a bat at the top or both bottom for other than identification purposes. And replacing the grip with another legal grip is not considered altering the bat. A flare or cone grip attached to the bat is considered an altered bat. So dito sa altered bat is magiging altered siya kung nagkakaroon ng panibago sa original structure ng isang bat. Section 2 is appeal play. A live or dead ball appeal is a play or situation on which an umpire cannot make a decision unless requested by a manager, coach, or player of the non-offending team. But a coach or manager may only make a dead ball appeal after stepping onto the playing field. If made by a fielder, the fielder must be in the infield when making the appeal. The appeal may not be made after any one of the following has occurred. These are the types of appeals. First, missing a base. Second, leaving a base on a cut fly ball before the ball is first touched. Third is batting out of order. Fourth, attempting to advance to second base after making a turn at first base. Illegal substitutions, the use of announced players under the replacement player rule. Third section is a ball compression. Ball compression is the load force in kilograms pounds required to compress a softball of 6.5 mm to or 0.25 inches when measured in accordance with the ASTM, American Society for Testing and Materials. Test methods for measuring compressions displacement of softballs. Fourth section is the ball core. The coefficients of restitutions of a softball when measured with the ASTM or the American Society for the Testing and Materials, test measuring the coefficients of restitutions of softballs. Next is the baseline, section number 5. A baseline is a direct line between bases. The sixth section is the base on ball, FP and SP. A base on balls occur when the 4 pitches are judged by the plate umpire to the balls, including illegal pitches. The batter is awarded first base. This is sometimes referred to as walk or the ball is dead, or FP the ball is alive, SP the ball is dead. Seventh section is the base path. A base path is a direct line between a base and the runner's positions at the time a defensive player is attempting or about to attempt to tug a runner. Section 8 is the bat ball. A bat ball is any ball that hits the ball or hit by the bat and lands either in fair or foul territory. No intention to hit the ball is necessary. Section 9 is the batter. A batter is an offensive player who enters the batter's box with the intentions of aiding his team to score runs. He continues to be a batter until he is either declared out by the umpire or he becomes a batter runner. Section 11 is the Section 10 is the batter box. The batter box is the area to which the batter is restricted while in position with the intentions of helping his team to obtain runs. The lines are considered as being within the batter's box. Section 11 is the batter runner. A batter runner is a player who has finished a turn, a bat, but has not yet been put out or touched a first base. Section 12, batting order. The batting order is the official listing of offensive player in order in which members of that team must come to bat. When the lineup card is submitted, it shall also include each player's position. The 13th section is the black ball. A black ball is a bat thrown or pitches but ball that A becomes lodged in the fencing or B is touched, stopped, or handed by a person not engaged in the game, or C touches any object that is not part of a official equipment or playing area or is touched by the defensive player who is in contact with the ground that is not part of the playing area. Section 14, bunt FP only. A bunt is a batted ball not swung at, but intentionally met with the bat and tape slowly within the playing field. Section 15, the catch. A catch is a legally caught ball, which occurs when the fielder catches a bat or thrown ball with his hands or glove. A. In establishing a valid catch, the fielder shall hold the ball long enough to prove the ball is securely held and or that the release of the ball is voluntary and intentionally. If the player drops the ball after reaching into the gloves to remove it or while in the act of throwing, it is a valid catch. B. If the ball is merely held in the fielder's arms or prevented from dropping to the ground by some part of the fielder's body, equipment, or clothing, the catch is not completed until the ball is in the grasp of the fielder's hands or gloves. C. The fielder's feet must be within the field or play, touching the out of play line or being in the air after leaving live ball territory in order to have a valid catch. If the player has in control of the ball when returning to the ground in the out of play area, it is valid a catch. A player who is in out of play area and returns to the live ball territory must have both feet touching the playable area prior to touching the ball in order to have a valid catch. D. It is not a catch if a fielder collides with another player, umpire, or a fence or falls to the ground and drop the ball as a result of the collisions or falling to the ground. E. A bat ball is striking anything other than defensive player while it is in flight is ruled the same as it is struck the ground. Section 16, catcher's box. The catcher's box is the area within which the catcher must remain until A. FP only. The pitch is released. The lines are to be considered within the catcher's box. B. SP only. The pitch ball is bat, touches the ground plate or batter, or reaches the catcher's back. The lines are to be considered within the catcher's box. The catcher's is considered within the box except when touching the ground outside the catcher's box. Section 17, rule number 1. Charge conference. A charge conference takes place when the offensive conference team requests a suspension of play or delays play to allow the manager or other team representative to confer with any member of their team. Defensive conference. A defensive team requests a suspension of play to allow a representative of the defensive team to enter the playing field to communicate with any defensive player, or a fielder leaves his positions and goes to the dugout and gives the umpire reason to believe that he received instruction. Note, to Section 17, it is not a charge conference if the coach, manager, notify the plate umpire of a change of pitchers either before or after communicating with the pitcher. Section 18, chop ball. A chop hit the ball is one at which the batter strikes downward with the chopping motions of the bat so that the ball bounces high into the air. Section 19, the coach. A coach is a person who is responsible for the team actions on the field, and he represents the team in communications with the umpire and opposing team. A player may be designated as a coach in event the coach is absent or the player is playing coach. B. For the purpose of these rules, the manager of a team is considered to be the head coach. Section 20. Crow hop. A crow hop is defined as the act of a pitcher who does not push off from the pitcher's plate to deliver the ball. This is an illegal act. If the pitchers step off the pitcher's plate, thereby establishing a second impetus or starting point, and then pushes off from the new starting point and completes the delivery. That's section number 20. Section 21, dead ball. A dead ball is one that A. touches any object that is not part of the official equipment or official playing area of or a player person not engaged in the game, or B. lodges in the umpire, gear, or in an offensive player's clothing, or the umpire has ruled dead. Section 22, defensive team. The defensive team is a team in the field. Section 23, delayed dead ball. A delayed dead ball is a game situation in which the ball remains alive until the conclusions of a play. When the entire play is completed, if required, the umpire shall rule a dead ball and enforce the appropriate ruling. Refer to Rule 19, Section 3. Rule 9 rather, Section 3. Section 24. Designated player. The designated player is a starting offensive player who bats in the lineup for the flex player listed in the 10th position on the lineup card. Section 25. Dislodge base. A dislodge base is a base displaced from its proper position. Section 26. Double play. A double play is a play by the defense in which two offensive players are legally put out as a result or of continuous action. Section 27. Dugout. The dugout is an area in dead ball territory designated for players, coaches, bat boys, or girls, and official representative of the team only. There shall be no smoking in this area. Section 28. Ejection from the game. Ejection is the act of any umpire ordering player, official, or any team member to leave the game and grounds for a rule violation for the remainder of the game. Section 29. Fair ball. A fair ball is a legally bat ball which aimed settles or is attached or over fair territory between home and first base or between home and third base. B. Bounce past first or third base or over fair territory, regardless of where the ball hits after going over the base. C. Touches first, second, third base. D. While on over fair territory touches the persons or cutting of an umpire or player. E. First falls of fair territory beyond first and third base. F. While over fair territory passes out of the playing field beyond the outfield fence. G. The last, while in flight, hits the foul line of pole. Note: a fair fly shall be judged according to the relative position of the ball and the foul line, including the foul pole, and not as to whether the fielder is on fair or foul territory at the time of touching the ball. Does not matter whether the ball first touches fair or foul territory, as long as it does not touch anything foreign to the natural ground in foul territory and complies with all other aspects of a fair ball. Section 30. Fair territory. Fair territory is that part of a playing field within and including the first and third base foul lines from home base to the bottom of the extreme playing field fence and perpendicularly upwards. Section 31. Fake tag. A fake tag is a form of obstruction on a runner while advancing or returning to a base by a fielder who is not in position of the ball. That impedes the progress of the runner. The runner does not have to stop or slide. Merely showing down when a fake tag is simulated would constitute obstruction. Section 32. Fielder. A fielder in any offensive player of the team on the field. Section 33. Flying ball. A fly ball is a ball bat into the air. Section 36. Forfeit. A forfeit is the act of the plate umpire ruling the game is over by declaring the non-offending team the winner. Section 37. The foul ball. A foul ball is a legally bat ball. Section 38. Foul territory. Foul territory is any part of the playing field that is not included in fair territory. Section 39. Foul tip. Foul tip. A foul tip is a bat ball which goes directly from the bat to the catcher's hands, goes not higher than the batter's head, and is legally caught by the catcher. Note: it is not a foul tip unless caught. Section 40. Helmet. A helmet. A helmet must have two ear flaps and shall be the type that has safety features equal to or greater than those provided by the full plastic cup and padding on the side. Liner covering the ears only does not meet the rule specification. Worn by a catcher may be skull type without a rule specification or without the ear laps. Worn by defensive players does not need ear laps. D. That is cracked, broken, dented, or altered shall be declared an illegal helmet and removed from the game. Section 41. Home team. The home team is a team on whose grounds the ball is played, or in the game is played on the neutral ground. Section 42. Illegal bat. An illegal bat is one that does not meet the requirement of Rule 3 and Section 1. 43. Illegal extra player. An illegal extra player is one who violates any of the provisions of Rule 7 and Section 3. Illegal pitcher. An illegal pitcher is a player legally in the game, but one who may not pitch as a result of charge conference limit being exceeded or being removed from the pitching positions by the umpire as a result of pitching with excessive speed after a swarming. Section 42 is legal player. An illegal player is a player who takes a position in the lineup either of on offense or defense who was not reported to the plate umpire, or a player who takes a position on offense or defense who does not have a legal right to that position. Section 46, illegal re-entry. An illegal re-entry occurs when a starting player returns to the game a second time after twice being substituted. A starting player returns to the game after being substituted, but not in his original position in the offensive lineup. C. A substitute who was legally been in the game returns to the game after being substituted for by either the original starting player or another substitute, and the starting DP FE only, or his substitute is placed until the batting order in the positions other than his original starting position. Section 47. Illegal substitute. An illegal substitute is a player who has entered the game without being announced to the umpire. Section 48. Illegally bat ball. An illegally bat ball occurs when the batter hits the ball fair or foul. Section 49. Illegally caught ball. An illegally caught ball occurs when a fielder catches a bat, thrown, or pitch ball with his cap, mask, glove, or any part of his uniform while it is detached from its proper place. Section 50. Ineligible player. An ineligible player is a player who may no longer legally participate in the game because the umpire has removed him. An eligible player may no longer participate as a player but may continue in the game as a coach. Section 55. Ineligible replacement player. An eligible replacement player is a player who may not enter the game to replace a player who must leave the game to attend to an injury that has caused bleeding. An eligible replacement player is one who has been removed from the game by the umpire for a violation of the rules and is in the current lineup. And C is not the current lineup but eligible to re-enter the game. Section 52. In flight. In flight describe many bat, thrown, or pitch ball that has not yet touched the ground or some object other than a fielder. Section 53. In jeopardy. In jeopardy, a theme term indicating that the ball is in play and an offensive player may be put out. Section 54 is infield. The infield is that portion of the field in fair territory that includes area normally covered by the infielders. Section 55, infielder. An infielder, a defensive player, including the pitcher and catcher, who is generally positioned anywhere near or within the lines of the base paths forming fair territory. Section 56, infield fly. An infield fly is a fair fly ball that can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort when the first and second or first, second, and third bases are occupied before two are out. The pitcher, catcher, and any outfielder that positioning himself in the field on the plate shall be considered infielder for the purpose of this rule. Section 57. Inning. An inning is that portion of a game within which the teams alternate an offensive and defense and which there are 3 outs for each team. A new inning begins immediately after the final out of the previous inning. Section 58. Intentionally based on balls. An intentional base on balls occurs when the defensive teams desires to place the batter on first base without the requirement to deliver 4 pitch balls. This is referred to as an intentional walk. The ball is dead. 56 section. Intentionally dropped fly ball. An intentionally dropped fly ball is a fly ball including a line drive or bunt with less than 2 outs and a runner or on first base which can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort, and the infielder intentionally drops after is controlled with a hands or a glove. Section 60. Interference. Interference is an act of an offensive player or team member that impedes, hinders, or confuses a defensive player attempting to execute a play. Section 61. Leaping or FP only. Leaping is the act of pitcher that causes him to be airborne on his initial move and push from the pitcher's plate. Section 62. Legal touch. A legal touch or tug is the action of a fielder in touching. Section 63. Legally caught ball. A legally caught ball occurs when a fielder catches a bat, thrown, or pitch ball provided it is not caught in the fielder's cap, helmet, mask, protector, pocket, or other part of his uniform. It must be caught and firmly held in the hands or gloves. Section 64. Line drive. A line drive is a ball in flight that is batted sharply and directly into a playing field. Section 62. Line up and line up card. A line-up is a list of players who are currently involved playing offensive and defensive position in the game, including the DP and the flex player, and EP if being used. Note, if an incorrect uniform number is listed on the line-up card, it may be corrected and game continued with no penalty. If a player wearing an incorrect number violates uh, vitiates misleads in any rule, the violation has precedence and must be enforced. If a player remain in the game following the violations, then correct the number and continue to play. Section 66. Obstructions. A defensive player or team member who hinders or prevents a batter from striking at or hitting a pitcher ball. A fielder who impedes the progress of a runner, and a batter runner who is legally running bases. Section 67. Offensive player only. An offensive player only is a player in the batting order other than the flex for whom the DP is playing defense. The Oppo continues to play offense but not play defense. Section 68. Offensive team. The offensive team is a team at bat. Section 69. Official equipment. Official equipment is considered to be any equipment, bats, gloves, helmets, etc. in current use by the defensive or offensive team in the course of play. Defensive equipment, gloves, for example, left on the field by the team playing offense would not be considered as official equipment. Section 70. A deck batter. The on-deck batter is an offensive player whose name follows the name of the batter in the batting order. Section 71. On-deck circle. The on-deck circle is that area where the on-deck batter may warm up or takes practice swings while awaiting his turn to enter the batter's box. Section 72. 1 meter 3-foot line. The 1 meter 3-foot line is the area that lasts half distance between home and first base, where a batter runner and must run to avoid being called out for interfering with a thrown ball from the home plate area. Section 73. Option play. An option play is a play in which the offensive coach manager is given the choice or taking the enforcement of illegal actions or the result of the play. Section 74. Outfield. The outfield is that portion of the field that is outside the diamond formed by the baselines of the area and not normally covered by an infielder and within the foul lines beyond first and third bases and boundaries of the grounds. Section 75. Overslide. An overslide is an act of an offensive player when, as a runner, he overslides a base he is attempting to reach. Section 76. Overthrow. An overthrow is a play in which the ball is thrown from one fielder to another. Section 77. Pass ball. A pass ball is a pitch that should have been held or controlled by other catcher with ordinary effort. Section 78. Pitch. A pitch is the act performed by the pitcher in delivering the ball to the batter. Section 79. Pitcher's circle. A pitcher's circle is an area within 2.44 mm or 8 feet of the pitcher's plate. The lines are considered within the circle. Section 80. Pivot foot. A pivot foot is that foot. Section 81. Play ball. Play ball is the term used by the plate umpire to indicate the play shall begin or be resumed when the pitcher holds the ball. Section 82. Pre-game meeting. The pre-game meeting is a meeting held on that home plate area at a predetermined time between the umpires and the head coaches or managers of the team representative of the respective teams. Section 83. Protest. A protest separate from an appeal. It is the actions or a defensive or offensive team objection or objecting. Section 84. Quick return pitch. A quick return pitch is made by the pitcher from the obvious attempt to catch the batter off balance. Section 85. Re-entry. Re-entry is the act of any of the starting players returning to the game after being legally or illegally substituted. Section 86. Removal from the game. Removal is the act of umpire declaring player ineligible for further participation in the game, other than as a coach, as a result of an interactions of the rule. Section 87, replacement player. A replacement player is a player required to enter the game for a defined period of time to replace a player who must leave the game to an injury that is causing bleeding. Section 88, runner. A runner is a player of the team at bat who has finished a turn at bat, reached the first base, and has not yet been put out. Section 89 is slap hit. Slap hit. Slap hit is a battle ball that has been struck with a controlled short, chopping motion rather than with a full swing. The two most common slap hit are those in which the batter takes. Note, a slap hit is not considered to be bunt. Section 90 is squeeze play. A squeeze play is a play in which the offensive team with a runner on third base attempts to score that runner by means of the batter constructing the ball. Section 91 is starting players. Starting players are the players listed on the official lineup given the umpire-in-chief and or the plate umpire. Section 92, stealing. Stealing is the act of runner attempting to advance during after a pitch to the batter. Stealing is not allowed in slow pitch. Section 93 is strike zone. Section 94, substitute. A substitute is a player listed on the official lineup card. Section 95, tagging up. Tagging up is the actions of a runner returning to the base or remaining on his base before he legally advances on the batted fly the ball in the first touch by a fielder. Section 96, team member. A team member includes any authorized to sit on the team bench. Section 97, temporary runner. The temporary runner is a player who may run the catcher of a record from the preceding half inning who is now on base with 2 out. Section 98, throw. A throw is the act performed by a fielder when throwing the ball to another fielder. Section 99, time. Time is a term used by the umpire to order the suspensions of play during which the ball is dead. Section number 100 is trap ball. A trap ball is legally bat, fly, or line drive that hits the ground and fence prior to being caught, or legally bat fly that is caught against fence with a glove or bar hand, or a thrown ball to any base for a force out which is caught with the gloves under the ball on the ground rather than under the ball, or a pitch ball that touches ground on strike prior to a catcher's catching it. Section 101, triple play. A triple play is a continuous action play by the defense on which the offensive player are put out. Section 102, third at bat. A turn at bat begins a player first enters the batter's box and continues until the batter is put out or become a batter runner. Section 103, wild pitch. A wild pitch is the pitch so high, so low, or so wide of the plate that the catcher cannot or does not stop and control it with ordinary effort. Section 104, wild throw. A wild throw is a play in which a ball is thrown from one fielder to another and cannot be caught or controlled is not blocked and remain in play. Section 105, withdraw player. A withdraw player is a player forced to leave the game lineup in accordance with the replacement player rule. Rule number 2, the playing field. The playing field is the area within which the ball may legally played and fielded. Section 2, ground or special rules. Ground or special rules establishing the limits of the player field may be agreed upon the leagues of opposing teams whenever backstops, fences, stands, vehicles, spectators, or other obstructions are within the prescribed area. Section 3, the official diamond shall have baselines and pitching distance as set out in the distance table. Section 4, diamond layout. For the layout of the diamond, refer the drawing showing dimension of softball diamond in Appendix 1A, a detailed instructions to lay out a diamond within 18 to 29 meters or 60 feet baselines and 14.02 or 46 feet pitching distance can be found in Appendix 3. Dimensions for the following contained in Appendix 2. A double base is approved for use at first base. This base shall be of the dimension set out in Appendix 1D and made of canvas or other suitable material. Half and base is secured in fair territory, and half the base of a different solid constructing color is secured in foul territory. Note, rule number 3 is the equipment. Section 1, the official bat shall be one piece construction multiplied multi-piece permanently assembled or two-piece interchangeable construction. If the bat is designed with the interchangeable components, it must meet the following criteria. A. Matting component is must have unique locking key to prevent uncertified equipment combinations in the field. All components combinations must meet the same standard as if it were a non-piece bat when combined or a portions of a one-piece bat is separated. Note, tape applied to any bat must be continually spiral. It does not have to be a solid layer or tape. It shall not exceed 2 layers. Section 2 in Rule 3. Warm-up bats. The warm-up bats must have one-piece construction and it shall be complied with the safety grip and safety knob requirements of the official bat. Section 3. The official softball. Section 4. The gloves and mitts. Any player may wear a glove, but only the catcher and first baseman may use mitts. Section 5. The shoes. All team members must wear shoes. A shoe shall be considered official if it is made with the canvas or leather uppers or similar materials and is fully enclosed. Section 6. Protective equipment. Mask. All catcher must wear mask, throat protector, and helmet. Note, the members of the defensive team must wear a mask, throat protector, and helmet while receiving warm-up pitchers from the pitching plate or in the warm-up area. Note, fast pitch catchers cannot wear the plastic face mask. Guard in place of the regular mask with throat protector. Section 7 in Rule number 3. Equipment on playing field. Equipment that is not part of the official equipment shall not be left lying on the playing field in either fair or foul territory. Section number 8. Uniform. All players on a team shall wear uniforms alike in color, trim, and style. Reference to coach's uniform is found under Rule 4, Section 1B. Exception, players and coaches may, for religious reasons, be permitted to wear a specific head covering and apparel that does not conform to a standard uniform requirement without penalty. Rule number 4, coaches, players, and substitutes. Section 1 in Rule number 4, coaches. The head coach is responsible for signing the lineup card. Coaches must be neatly attired, including the wearing of the suitable footwear or dress in team uniform in accordance with the color code of the team. An offensive team coach or base coach is an eligible member of the team and at bat who takes his place on the field. Section 2, lineup cards and rosters. Official lineup cards are to be completed and submitted to the official scorer and the plate umpire at the start of each game. The plate umpire retains the cards for the duration of the game. Section 3, players. A team shall consist of players in the following position. Pass pitch, 9 players pitchers, catcher, 2 first baseman, 3 second baseman, 4 third baseman, 5 shortstop, 6 left fielder, F7 center fielder, F8 and right fielder, F9. Fast pitch with the designated player, DP, 10 players same as fast pitch plus a DP. Section number 4 in Rule number 4 is starting players. A starting player shall be official when the lineup card is inspected and approved by the plate umpire and team representative at the pre-game meeting. Section number 5, designated player. A designated player referred to as DP may be used as a batter for any defensive player provided it is made known prior to the start and the game and his is entered on the lineup sheet as line of the 9 hitters and the batting order. Note, when the flex player plays offense for the designated player is now considered to have left and the game may re-enter once in his place in the batting order. This change must be reported to the plate umpire. Section 6 in Rule number 4 is extra player. An extra player refers to an AP is optional, but if one is used, it must be made known prior to the start of the game, and the player's name listed on the lineup card as one of the 11 hitters in the batting order. Section 7, re-entry. Any of the starting players may be substituted and re-enter once provided such player occupy the same batting position whenever they are in the lineup. Exception, if the starting player currently not in the lineup is brought into the lineup as a replacement player. Section 8 is a substitute or illegal player. A substitute may take the place of a player whose name is in his team lineup. The following regulation govern player substitution. The coach or team representative of the team making the substitutional shall immediately notify the plate umpire and the team enters. Exception: if an unreported substitution of offense by the research base and then is discovered and appealed before a pitch of the next batter, or if the end of the game and before the umpire leave the field, all runners, including the batter, will return to the base occupied at the time of the pitch, and unreported substitute is declared ineligible and called out. All outs that occur on display will stand. Section 9. Disputed calls. Any team member disputing any judgment decision by an umpire will constitute a team warning. Any repeat offense shall result in the ejection of the team member. Section 10. Dugout conduct. Coaches, players, substitutes, or other bench personnel shall not be outside the designated dugout area, except when the rule allow or when considered justified by the umpire. Section 11, replacement player. In the event of any player bleeding during the game, the player must be withdraws from the game and its bleeding cannot be stopped within the reasonable length of time of his uniform becomes covered with blood. Section 12, temporary runner. A temporary runner is legal for a catcher of record from the previous half inning who is on base with 2 out. The following provisions apply. It is optional for the offensive team management. The temporary runner may be used anytime after the second out occurred. The temporary runner is the player scheduled to the bat last and who is not base at the time option is taken. Note: if an incorrect player is used as temporary runner, the error shall be corrected when the notice without penalty.